This is phobia. Some of us are afraid of heights. Some are afraid of loud noises, enclosed spaces, and strangers. Some are afraid of the dark, and some are afraid of white. Some of us are afraid of monsters in closets, boogeymen under beds, and spiders in our homes. Some are afraid of daddy coming home, or daddy leaving again. Some are afraid of mama. Some are afraid for mama. Some are afraid that mama knew best, and mama was right, and mama is gone, and mama, it's too late for me. Some of us are afraid of being too late. Some of us are afraid of leaving too early. Some of us are afraid of others leaving, like a great immigration to the shores of another friendship. Some are afraid of friendship and of relationship, of laced fingers, of late night talks, of light kisses and long walks. Some of us are afraid of lump in throat filled with guilt and disappointment. Some are afraid of disappointment, or disappointing, or disapproval, or this heartbreak, or decision, or this time, or disability, or this face, or disgrace. Some of us are afraid of this grace that spurs limbs to dance and hearts to sing. Some are afraid to sing and scratch raw the throats of those who are afraid to stay silent. Some are afraid of silence, of the eye of the hurricane, of the calm before the storm. Some of us are afraid of life imitating storm, of life imitating movies, of life imitating history, of life imitating death. Some are afraid of death and heaven and hell and ghosts and underworld. Some are afraid of life imitating underworld. Some of us are afraid of Satan, and some of us are afraid of God. Some of us are afraid of meeting either too early, of feeling the sting of death, of feeling the victory of graves. Some of us are afraid of feeling, or not feeling, or whatever lies in between that. Some of us are afraid of fear. Some of us are afraid to fear. Some of us are afraid that our fears for our future are unfounded, that our trials transform our minds into caged birds who have forgotten their songs. Some of us are afraid of cages. Some of us are afraid of chains and whips and chain gangs and whiplashes. Some of us are afraid of stereotypes and judgments and typecasting and profiling. And some of us are afraid of shapes that don't fit inside our box. Some of us are afraid of these things and have the opportunity of picking and choosing what is scary to them. I am afraid of heights. I am afraid of loud gunshots, enclosed coffins, and uniformed strangers. I do not have the luxury to pick and choose my phobias. I walk in nightmare, calling for God to remind me He is near, to lend me His peace, to lend me His voice. I am afraid of His silence.